Hey, it's Rhianna. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about body positivity, self-confidence, self-esteem. This is an extremely difficult video to film, so I'd really appreciate it if you enjoy it to go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Leave any comments you have about this video down below, and let's just go ahead and get started. So as I was saying, this video is really hard to film. I've already restarted it a few times. It's just so hard to get out like what's in my head regarding this topic. It's something that's talked about a lot. Like, how do you adequately verbalize what makes you confident? And like how to handle those days whenever you're having a not so confident day. So whenever I mentioned on my Instagram that I wanted to film this video, I got a 100% yes response, as I expected, on y'all wanting to hear me talk about this topic. As far back as I can remember, which would be around junior high, I have been told from other people that they admire my self-confidence. They think that, you know, I hear that they wish that they had the confidence that I have. Basically comments along those lines. And when I went to go start making like an outline for how I wanted to film this video, like I was thinking back, like, why do I have so much confidence? Why is my self-esteem so high? You know, what is my experience? Like, why is my experience different than the next person's experience? And I honestly struggled so much because, like, how do you articulate self-worth, self-esteem, self-confidence? It all comes from within. Obviously there were things that happened in my life that led me to have this level of self-worth and everything. But it also comes from the conversation that I have inside my head with myself. So I'm going to talk about some experiences that I had, and I'm going to try my hardest to get out a message that I hope will be beneficial to you. As far back as I can remember, I've always struggled with my weight. I've always been overweight. I mean, in kindergarten, my parents had me in T-ball because I was chubby and they were trying to keep me active. I started Weight Watchers whenever I was in junior high. You know, I've always been chubby, but I never felt like that made me less of a person. And yes, I had people that teased me. I had, you know, family members who I understand that they meant well, okay? So I don't feel like, you know, it's their fault or anything like that. But well-meaning family members who've made comments about, you know, my weight and stuff like that. I've had obviously interactions with, you know, men mostly, but sometimes women that have kind of made comments about my size and stuff like that. I've always just felt like the number on the scale and the size of jeans that I put on my body didn't change the fact that I am funny, I'm friendly, I have an amazing family that loves me, I have amazing friends that love me. You know, I never felt like one thing like that, like my weight or whatever, would take away from all the positive things about myself. I also think that it's important to mention that every person has something they don't like about themselves. Even the most like put together, beautiful, like amazing, just like stunning person that you know, whether it's like, you know, on the TV, whether it's on your TV or in social media or whatever, that person is still gonna have days whenever they look in the mirror and they're like, ah, I'm so ugly. Or they put on an outfit and they're like, oh, I'm so fat or whatever. Like, everyone experiences that. It's part of being human. And I definitely struggle with that occasionally. And so I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about those days. So one of the things that like I struggle with is my forehead. Like, obviously it's humongous. And it's one of those things that I have been picked on a little bit throughout my life. So for something like that, so a physical trait, like I can't change the size of my forehead. And I feel like, well, some people have told me, oh, well, you should have bangs. Well, you know what, Becky? I can't have bangs because my hair is too thin and it will not work, okay? Trust me, I can't have bangs. They get really stringy. So I just have had to embrace my forehead, and it's just the way that it is. Like, I know that whenever I pull it back like this, sometimes I look like a bald man. And you know what? That's just gonna have to be how I look sometimes. I feel like it's not my responsibility to always look 100% for the public. I don't really care that that guy at Walmart thinks that I look like a bald man, you know? Like, yes, most of the time I'm gonna wear my hair down because I know that it's more flattering. But there are gonna be days whenever I don't feel like it. Sorry, not gonna do it. Another thing like I struggle with is my teeth. I went through a period in my life where I was very depressed. It was when I was in my previous marriage, and that situation was just like really toxic. We were having a lot of financial problems, and I just wasn't happy. Now, in the moment, I didn't realize that I was going through depression. Now that I'm out of it and I can look back, I can realize, well, I was like in a pretty deep hole, pretty dark place. And it's like one of the only times in my life that I've been through that. And during that time, self-care was non-existent. I didn't brush my teeth at all for years, honestly. And so because of that, I have some like enamel problems, and that's the reason why, one of the reasons why my teeth are yellow, and it sucks. But the only thing that I can do now is take better care of it now. And so that's what I do. You know, I brush every day and I floss regularly, and all I can do is just try to make it better. I can't go back in time and correct that behavior. So for physical things like that, there are things that you can obviously try to fix. You know, you can, if you're having a day where you don't feel confident in what you're wearing, you can put on something that you feel more comfortable in. You know, if it's something like with your face, you could potentially wear makeup if that's something that you're into. I personally don't really wear makeup, but I've been lucky enough that I don't have a lot of issues with my face. In my opinion. I think maybe other people might disagree, but I personally don't feel like I need to wear makeup. But I know there are a lot of women who feel like, and actually now more men, who feel like, you know, they need the coverage or whatever, they feel more confident, and that's fine. So I think that for physical things like that, if you can find something that makes you feel a little bit more comfortable, I would say when you're having those days, you know, embrace those things. There's nothing wrong with that. So the next thing I want to talk about is body positivity. If you're a plus size person, you probably already are aware of what this is. It is different than the health at every size movement. I personally do not agree with health at every size. I feel like it's very obvious to me that your weight does play a factor in your health. And so body positivity is not the same thing as health at every size. Body positivity is about allowing yourself to feel okay, at least okay, hopefully more than okay, but okay with your body in the moment. So whether that means that you are overweight and you're trying to lose weight, you are still allowed to feel okay with yourself right now. If you are overweight and you're not trying to lose weight, you're still allowed to feel okay with yourself right now. If you have some sort of physical thing, you know, I mean, I can't speak for other people because I'm not, you know, I'm not experienced in all the levels of like why you need body positivity. Mine is obviously mostly gonna be from a weight perspective. Body positivity is about just no matter what you're doing, no matter what's happening, no matter what, the body that you are currently in, the skin that you are currently occupying is good and it's fine, and you're allowed to be happy, and you're allowed to have confidence, and you're allowed to wear what you want. I do not believe that you need to wait until you are, you know, X amount of weight or a certain size or anything like that to wear shorts or wear a tank top or wear a bathing suit or wear a bikini, or put on lingerie for your significant other, or, you know, to just whatever. If you want to do it, there is nothing stopping you right now other than you not wanting to do it. If you don't want to wear a bathing suit because you don't want to wear a bathing suit, that's fine. But don't not wear a bathing suit because, you know, Joey from down the block says that fat girls shouldn't wear bathing suits. Who cares about him? I don't care about him. Last year, I started wearing a two-piece. Previous to that, I've always worn a bathing suit. I wear shorts in the summer. I wear tank tops in the summer. I wear spring dresses with spaghetti straps. My bra strap shows. I don't care what society, you know, tells me I shouldn't be wearing. I'm gonna wear stripes. I'm gonna wear skinny jeans. I'm gonna wear leggings because I want to wear them. And I'm not gonna wait until someone else's predetermined requirements have been met. My requirements are, do I want to wear leggings today? Yes, I do. Do I want to put on a bathing suit and go swimming with my family? Yes, I do. Like, and I feel like a lot of times it's all caught up in our head. I really believe that we think everyone is watching us. We think we're being stared at. We think that, you know, that person just gave us a look. When in reality, most people are too consumed with themselves to even notice that you exist. And I think that's another big piece of it, is that you are not as important as you think you are to a stranger. Like, whenever I'm out and about, I honestly hardly even acknowledge there's other people around. I'm there to do what I need to do with my friends and family or whatever, and I'm not paying attention to that person, you know, on the other side of the table, the other side of the restaurant, unless something crazy is happening. Now, if you walk in the door and you have a blue mohawk and you're wearing see-through shirt with, you know, duct tape on your nipples, and you're wearing like knee-high neon green boots, yeah, I'm gonna notice you, but that's because you want to be noticed. You don't walk around like that without wanting to be noticed. But if you're just wearing black leggings and a purple and white striped tank top, people aren't gonna notice you. And they may look in your direction, but I think most of the time they're not thinking anything negative about you. So I think that's one of the important things, is that you need to realize that nobody cares about you. And I know that sounds terrible, but you know what I mean. You know what I'm trying to say. It's in your head is what I'm trying to say. Now, I'm not saying that you haven't had an experience where you have been shamed. It does happen. I've been through it. Jonathan's been through it. You know, I think everyone has gone through something like that, but a vast majority of the time, your experiences are not gonna be like that. So if you wanna wear shorts, wear the shorts. That's all I'm trying to say. So the last couple of things that I want to talk about are just some words that I've written down on how you can try to build your confidence and build your self-esteem and your self-worth and everything. And hopefully you'll find something that resonates with you that you can take away from this video. The first thing that I wrote down was finding people who inspire you, whether that's on the social media or in real life, you know, however you need to find it. If you can find someone that you can see doing the things that you want to do, and it gives you that little bit of like, hey, if they can do it, I can do it. You know, follow them. Follow them on social media, follow their Instagram, you know, let them know, however you want to reach out to them. I did that with Carissa from Fat Girl Flow. This was several years ago now. She's always been about like being comfortable in her own skin and not really caring what other people think. And it definitely aligns with the way that I feel about my body as well. There are obviously some things that we don't see eye to eye on. She's very anti-diet culture and things like that. I obviously celebrate like weight loss and things like that. But when it comes to like body positivity, I feel like we're on the same page. So like I follow her on Instagram, I follow her on Facebook. I really appreciate what she has to say in those regards. So on that same point, unfollow those who don't bring joy. Unfollow those accounts that are negative to you. If they have ugly things to say, or if it's like a diet account that makes you feel uncomfortable or is making you feel unworthy, you're not obligated to continue these, like, especially social media accounts. Like, don't follow accounts that don't make you happy. I'm very good about weeding through my social media list every once in a while and removing those accounts that I just don't really want to interact with anymore. Whether it's I've changed or they've changed, whatever the case may be, it costs nothing to hit that unfollow button. You don't have to follow people just because. And I would hope that my channel would never be, or my Instagram or whatever, would never be the cause of you feeling bad about yourself. I still encourage it, even if that means that I'm gonna lose someone, because I want you to feel good about yourself. I truly wish that there was something that I could do for all these people who've come to me who said they wish fill in the blank that I had. They wish that they could do the thing that I do. I wish that I could give you what I feel about you, you know? So along the lines of like having good role models, have a good support system. You know, I understand that it's hard to get away from certain negative people in your life when they're like family or something like that. But just limit your exposure to them. You don't have to engage in the conversations with them. If they're saying something that you don't agree with and you feel comfortable explaining why you don't agree with it, you can take the time to try to explain yourself. But you don't have to. It's not your job to educate them. Sometimes people are not going to change, you know, how they feel about certain things. For example, there was a lady who was on, I think I was friends with her on Facebook. She's also a friend of my mom's. And she posted a picture of a woman who was wearing a dress where her back fat was showing. And I commented on there and said that that was like not okay. And in the past, I wouldn't have probably done that. I probably would have been annoyed and irritated, and I would have just scrolled by and maybe talked to someone else about it in real life. But this time I was like, you know what? No, I'm gonna say something. So I did, and I explained to her that you don't know that lady's situation. That lady may have lost 50 pounds and was finally feeling confident enough to wear that dress, and then someone took a picture of her and posted it on Facebook. We should never shame people, ever. So like, you know, limit your exposure to things like that. And sometimes you can't, and unfortunately that's just the way that it is, but do your best to avoid it. So the next little piece that I wrote down was see yourself through others' eyes. So a lot of times our negative thoughts that we have about ourselves, if we spoke them out loud to our closest friends, they would just be so upset because they would never see us that way. Like if I told Jonathan, and I have obviously, if I told Jonathan that like I'm fat because this or whatever, you know, he would stop what he was doing and he would correct that thought process in my head. You know, if I said something negative about myself to my best friend Crystal, like she would, you know, she would probably laugh at me and try to make me feel better. Like, you know, she would be like, why are you saying that? No, you know, whatever. Like that's, so try to see yourself through others' eyes. And the last thing I have is to be kind to yourself. So along with those negative thoughts that I was just talking about, like, would you ever say those things to a loved one? No, you wouldn't. So why do you say them to yourself? Don't tell yourself ugly things. And I'm not perfect. I have bad days, but I feel like the reason why you see confidence in me is because I try really hard to be confident. You know, I try really hard to like not be negative towards myself and not say ugly things to myself as much as I can. All right, guys, that was a very intense video. Super hard to make. Hopefully you got something from this video. If there's anything that I missed or that you feel like you have any comments on, definitely leave them down below. If you enjoyed this video, I would love for you to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you get notified every time I make a new video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye. So that's just one of the reasons why I'm not like super hung up on the fact that the scale hasn't moved. And I think it's important